Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to take you through the design of this beautiful pendant. I was going to embellish this much more, but I got so far and I really liked the way it was. I really didn't want to do anything else to it, so I'm going to crack on and talk you through the design. Let's pop that to one side. And here we go. I've started to quite enjoy working on an embroidery hoop. I just find it helps me grip things better. But you don't have to work off a hoop. It's just something I like to do at the moment. I have this one is made on purple felt, but if you don't have purple felt, you can just use a permanent marker and colour in purple, because you're really not going to see much of it anyway. But that's what I did for this one, because not everybody has felt. I've saved myself some time and pre-glued my cabochan. I used E6000 for that. All of the beads and everything will be listed in the description box below. I have loaded my needle with this beautiful sort of lavender metallic thread. This is Nymo thread. And I have loaded that from fingertip to fingertip. I will need to add more thread to this. And I'm going to start at the very top of my cabochan. The first thing I'm going to do is a POT bezel, and to do that we just need to add a row of beads, all the way around this cabochan, but it needs to be an even number. So to keep mine in an even number, I'm going to add 2 at a time. I'm going to use these 11-0, you can't really see the label anymore, but they are Toho 11-0s. And that is Trans Luster Lit Amethyst. Okay, so that's the colour that I'm using. You can really use any colours to do this, whatever colours you're doing, but this is just basics. So I'm going to use 2 beads at a time. Pop those on. If you don't know, if you're not an expert yet and you're not good at gauging, you can just bring those beads all the way down there like that, and then pop the needle just after the beads. If you do know how to gauge, or you've been doing this a while, you will know roughly where your needle needs to go. I'm going to keep adding like this all the way around, and remember I want an even number. So all the way around, 2 beads at a time. 2. Last time I went back through both of the beads. This time I'm going to come up in the middle of the first 2 that I added. And that will be the pattern from here on out. So through those 3 beads, add 2, pop the needle down, and then up between the previous 2 beads added. Through all those. And add 2. And I am literally just going to do this all the way around. Here we are, I've gone all the way around, and now I need to add on my last 2 beads. So I'm going to pick up. Here, if I only had enough space for one, I would tighten this up and close it up here, because we don't want an odd number. And I'm just going to take these two, I'm going to come through a few beads. I'm just going to fill in that hole there like that. Okay, and I'm going to come all the way around these beads. And that'll just cinch it all off like that, and this is where we're going to start our peyote. So we're going to pick up a bead, we're coming out of that bead there, going to jump over this bead here, going to go in that bead there. So I'm going to come a little bit closer for you. So you can see we're coming out that bead there. We want to go jump over this bead and go into this bead. And that'll make it sit up like that. And again, pick up a bead. We're coming out of that one, jump over this one and go into that one. Into that one. I want to do this all the way around. Pick up, jump over the bead into that one, all the way around, and I'll meet you back at the edge. Okay, so I've gone all the way around and I'm ready to step up. So to do that, grab your seed bead and you want to do your thing coming out of there. You want to go in there, but this time, if you can, you want to go up into this bead as well. Okay, so let's go up. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it both at the same time because I'm on here, so I'm going to go through the bead I'm supposed to, and then I'm going to step up because this is the bead I want to be coming out of. Okay, just like that. So now I'm coming out of this bead here. And now you can see we have a gap in between each bead. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill the gap. We're going to grab a seed bead and fill the gap. Grab a seed bead, fill the gap. All the way around. Grab a seed bead, fill the gap. And I will meet you back at the beginning. Here we go again. I've come to the top. I need to add on my last bead. And I'm going to go through this bead here and the bead on the diagonal. So this one and that one. See? Right there. Give that a good pull, keep it all snug, and this is where we're going to start with our 50 nose. And we're going to do our peyote with these. So we're coming out of there, we're going to pick up our 50 now. We're coming out of that bead there. We want to go in this bead here, and you can see this time that they are slightly raised, so it's going to be much more obvious which bead you want to be going through. It's going to be the one that's sticking out slightly every time, so I'll do that again with you. Grab a seed, grab 15O, you're coming out of there, you want to go in that next raised bead over there. And again we're going to do this all the way around, filling in the gaps. All the way around like that, and meet me back here. Okay, again, back when we started. So pick up your seed bead, you want to fill in, and we're stepping up again. Oh, drop my bead. We're stepping up again, so you want to go through that bead and that 15O. Oh, that bead and the 15O, like that. And now we're going to fill in again. And I'm going to do this with you quickly, because when we get to the end there, we are not going to add seed beads because we want it to tighten up in the corners. So I'm going to show you what I mean. So when we get to here, to really cinch this corner in, I'm going to add my 15O here, but then I'm not going to add one here. I'm going to jump straight over to this next one here, to cinch in these corners, okay? And do all the way up to here, where I will meet you back and do the same thing up there. So I'm back at the top, coming out of there. I'm going to just jump straight across into the next 15O without adding one, to really cinch it in. I'm going to grab another 15O and just close up here. And once I've finished adding, which I think after this last one I have, yeah, I'm going to go through every single 15O on this top row, all the way around, okay, to really pull that all in together. So every single one. All the way down. And meet me at the end when you've done that. But as I'm going to actually, you can see my thread's getting pretty low. I'm going to go through all of these 15Os, and then I'm going to tie off out the back and tie on a new piece of thread, and I will meet you back. There we go, I have bezeled my cabochan very nicely. I'm very happy with that. And now it's time to start adding the bugle piece of the bugle part of our design. So I'm going to grab my bugle beads here, put my hand in under the spoon, and to grab me some bugles out of here. And I'm going to start right at the tippy top here, because I find it's easier if you can keep things nice and straight. So starting at the top, we can get our first straight bugle bead on. So pick up a bugle bead. What can help if you're not too confident with judging your lengths of the beads, and also what can help anyway, because we're going in a circular motion, what helps me is to bring the bugle bead down the thread and then decide how I want it placed, and this can be a little time consuming. After a little while you can get used to it and you know where you want to put the beads, but for the beginning, or if you're not used to putting them in a circular motion, I would definitely recommend coming up by the bezel here, grabbing your bugle bead and bringing it down the thread, just to decide how you want it to lay. I don't mind to lay more like that. There we go. And just keep going like that. And to come up right next to the bezel. Right there. Grab your bugle, bring it down, and decide where you want it facing, just like that. I'm just going to do this all the way around, and you can see here that's left a little bit of a gap, and what you can do if you feel like adjusting one of the beads is come up and just do so. I'm going to adjust this middle bead here, so I've come up at the bottom of it. I'm going to go up through it, and I'd like it facing this way a little more, so I'm going to take my needle and come down and just adjust where they're sitting. And I would always recommend adjusting your beads sooner rather than later, because it makes it much easier to adjust them if you want to. I'm going to continue this all the way around. Well, that is all my bugle beads added, and isn't that looking beautiful? I really enjoyed making this one. I was quite happy with how beautiful it turned out, being so simple. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Rhinestone Cup chain, and I'm going to attach a piece all around the inside here. So I grabbed, you see, I'm going to go all the way around the edge, and I'm going to start at the bottom of my piece. No, I'm going to start at the side, because if you start somewhere like this, for example, it's a lot easier to hide the join. So I'm going to just, my needle's coming out here, I just want to work over there. So I'm just going to come up and down here, and as you can see I don't have very much thread left, so I will be changing thread in the meantime, but just to show you how I'm going to attach this, I'm going to very simply lay it on the top. Let's come out first, silly me. Let's come out somewhere, there we go, right there. So yes, I'm going to take my chain, I'm going to start just here, and if you can see my thread's cut. What I want to do is get right up close, hold it there. I want my thread to fall in between here where that metal is, so I'm just going to go straight down the other side, and I'm going to go nice and slowly just to make sure my thread catches that metal bridge. Nice and slowly. You might need to push it over a little, and there we go. Once you've got it on, it's much easier to maneuver. So I'm just going to literally tuck it down with a thread in every space on every bridge. So over this bridge, my needle came out nice and slowly, using your thumb if you need to, just to pop it down there. I'm going to do that all the way around, and I'll meet you back at the end where I'll show you how we'll make these ends meet. There, here you can see I've almost finished adding my rhinestone. So what I want to do is I want to meet them up here, so I want to cut just past this one. So just there. And now I want to finish this off. Let's rethread my needle, that's just come out. One moment. So, add your last couple of bridges. And as you can see, that is beautifully added. Now what I would like to do here is at the very ends here, I'm going to come here and I'm going to use my thread to catch one of the teeth on this side and one of the teeth on the other side. This can be a little fiddly to do, but you can catch them. Catch the teeth. And then go through. Oh, my needle's come out again, one moment. Sorry about that. As I was saying, just catch the claws and then pop it down. My thread come out yet again, so I'm going to tie this off, and then we are going to work around this bit here. Okay, so I have tied off from this bit. I have tied on a new piece of thread, and now I'm going to use these 11 Tohos in opaque oxblood rainbow to simply do a back stitch all the way around the edge here. So to do this bit I'm going to use 4 beads at a time, just because it'll help it go a little bit quicker. So I'm going to come up somewhere along the top here. This is where I've tied off, and I'm going to add 4 beads. 2, 3, 4. Again, if you're not confident on judging, just bring them down, lay them across, and that will show you where you need to put your needle. Just there, look. See? Like that. Then I'm going to come back in the middle of those. Through those 2 and add 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go along those beads, come up in the middle of those last 4. Go through those 2 and add 4 beads, and this is literally all I'm going to do all of the way around the bugle beads we've added to make really frame this really nicely. So I'll meet you when I'm finished. Here we have it. I have gone around with my beautiful border. Now it's time to pop it out and glue it to our backing, and while that dries we will make our bail. So I'm going to leave the thread attached because it will come in handy for making my for doing the edging. Beautiful. And what you want to do as well is get the same colour that you used and just go around the edge here, and then choose your backing and glue it on. I'm going to be using this leather, just like that. I can, if anybody wants me to link it, I can. I get my leather off of eBay. I buy the scrap leather and repurpose it. That's what I'm going to do. I will meet you back here in a moment when I've cleared away, and we will do our bail while our glue is drying. So everything is dry. I have made my bail. Don't forget to make this bail. Follow the link in the description box below to Bronze Pony or Stephanie. And now I'm simply going to do the basic edge stitch which I normally do. So I'm only going to show you quickly because we've done this a couple of times together now. To start off, pick up 2, go roughly 2 beads across, catch your foundation and your back, come up the 1 bead so it sits up like that. And now we're going to work with 1 bead. We're going to go across roughly 1 bead space, catch the foundation and the back, come back through to stand that bead up, just like that. And I'm going to go all the way around, and then I'm going to come up here to attach our bail. So I went ahead, I've been around and edged my piece, I've tied it off and got rid of my thread because I'm going to use the tail, or what's left of this, to thread this in. The first thing I want you to do is make sure you're coming out of one of the bicones here. Okay, and then I want you to pick up one of your 11-ohs, one of these tiny rondelles. If that's what you're using, you can also use bicone, but I decided to use these rondelles in the same colour, and then another 11-oh. Bring those down like that, and then you want to find your top 3 beads. So I'm going to say that that's my top 1 there, so I'd say that's my top bead, so I'd say I need to go into these 2 here. Start with this one, just come down that top bead, go through the back in, underneath, and then back up through that bead and these beads and the bicone if you can get it. So, and up through that bead, oh, through that bead, that one, that one, that one, and the bicone. Oh, just the bicone, like that. Pull that through. And then again, 11-0, roundel, 11-0, skip the middle bead and go down this one. And go through. And then again back up through these. And then back through the bicone. And now you just want to tie your thread off in here somewhere, and I'm going to just do that now. And there we have it, Purple Starburst. I hope you liked this video, and I hope you will join me for more in the future. I hope you will like and subscribe so you get notified when I bring out a new video. Please take care, and I'll see you again. Bye bye now.